To the Soro Africa podcast, where we dive deep into the environmental issues that are most pressing in Zimbabwe right now. I'm Richard Kawazi, and today we're going to look into the intersection of the climate crisis, poverty, as well as artisanal mining in Zimbabwe. Today I'm joined with my co-host Nigel Guchu. Nigel, it's good to have you all the time. Welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you very much, Richard. It's always good to be here. And I'm quite sure today we're going to have quite an exciting discussion.
Yes. Thanks, Nigel. Well, just for the viewers, how simply can we best dissect the concept climate change or climate crisis?
Right. Climate crisis, or rather climate change, is, I want to really break it down to its most simple definition so that everyone is able to understand it. Climate change basically is the unexpected changes in weather patterns in the whole world, or rather in the globe, whereby we begin to see seasons shifting, thereby affecting agriculture, rainfall patterns, and we experience like polar ice caps meltdowns in the north and south pole. So that's basically climate change, caused maybe also by air pollution and things like that. That's really putting it from a lay perspective so that people really get what we are trying to say.
Thanks very much, Nigel. Now, it is quite evident that these drastic changes have now accumulated to crisis level.
Yes.
Rainfall patterns have been affected.
Yeah.
The heat is just too much. We cannot even predict seasonal activities such as agriculture and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Now, poverty now is in the mix.
Yes.
So let's talk about how poverty is attributed to the climate change and how it amounts to the crisis that we're talking about. I'll give you an example, Nigel. There is serious activity that is going on in artisanal mining. People in the rural areas, particularly Mashonaland West, Matabeleland South, and Matabeleland North, they are no longer relying on subsistence agriculture. Most of their economic activities have gone down to artisanal mining, where they don't usually rely on rainfall for subsistence. So what kind of poverty are we experiencing, if you know at all, man?
Now, this is extreme poverty, Richard, because right now, our economy, especially in Africa, is really dependent on rainfall. And because the rainfall patterns have drastically changed, we are seeing that agriculture is being affected. The agriculture yields are being affected very, very, very negatively. And families are now leaving that source of stable income for artisanal mining. Like for instance, right now, I'm quite sure this year it's a drought year. Look, the way we are experiencing the rainfall right now. It's really rather erratic. There's a heavy downpour over here. We go through a dry spell and then another heavy downpour. So you see, this has really affected the whole structure of the family, and has made farming way less viable. And it's forcing now, the serious thing is it's really forcing women and children to actually seek alternatives, and the alternative that is available right now is artisanal mining, and this really is not a situation that would rather have happening, but it is happening now. We talk of things like child labor, etc., etc., but they do not have a choice. Look, it is what it is. That is what is happening, and people are now going for mining, and there are a lot of things that are going on, Richard.
Thanks for clarifying on that one, Nigel. Especially putting out the point across that the reason why we're having an influx in artisanal mining, it's because nothing of economic value, or we are having less economic activity with subsistence farming, and then people are in this artisanal mining for survival.
Yes.
So, Nigel, nyaya yacho yakaoma now because tada kunyatsotarisisa, right? Let's zero in on women and children. Men, yes, it has always been like that.
Yes.
Traditionally, kubva chikorokoza chitanga vana baba nana mukoma ndo vaienda.
Exactly. Yeah.
But now we have got a different kind of situation, a scenario where women-headed homes, the woman, the widow, is now going kumakomba.
Yes. Yeah.
Children as well. So we're considering anyone who's under 16. In the Ndoma Korokoza Ajona Mahombe. Those are the guys who are leading these packs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it safe for them, man? I know it's not safe, but let's just expand a bit on this. Why do we have our women and children there? Because one, for starters, it's a very dangerous space.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mining needs to be properly mechanized.
Exactly.
We will look into protective gear, the questions of protective gear, ventilation in the shafts and everything else like that. But let's just talk about why we are having our women and children in these spaces.
You know, women and children right now, they can't help, going to artisanal mining for livelihood because husbands are being lost in the makeshift mines. That is the major contributor of the scenario that we're talking about. A husband is going out to fend for the family. He's a miner.
Yeah.
And then, you understand? And then they lose their lives. Now, the woman is not going to sit around and watch her children suffer or rather die of hunger. She's going to take matters into her own hands and go and do something about it. But now the unfortunate thing is, now there is no line that is being drawn between who is supposed to actually go out and work and who is supposed to benefit from the work. Now, the mother is taking along the children, all right, to go and work. Now, understand that she would rather have her children stay behind. But Richard, there are dangers as well. We are having cases of rape that are happening of children that are staying behind at home. So she's feeling safer to say, I'm gonna take my children and go with my children where I'm doing the mining, right? And be with my kids there so that I can keep an eye on them whilst I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So this is a whole cocktail, it's a whole mix of issues that are coming in. And we are having, numerous reports of even the mothers getting raped, Richard, when they've gone out to do their artisanal mining in the places where they are doing this activity. So it's really rather troubling.
Thanks very much, Nigel. Before we get into another aspect of trying to put the issue of poverty into the mix of climate change, we would want to talk about health issues. But before that, can we just make a bold declaration that women and children are bearing the brunt of the climate crisis? Can we just make a bold declaration on that?
Definitely, and we agree on that.
Okay. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, press the subscribe button, and then continue to see our videos.